So right off the bat, the movie immediately breaks one of the biggest flaws of the universe, which is the mist. The fisherman sees Poseidon come out of the water and stares dumbfounded, but he shouldn't even be able to see Poseidon because the mist keeps mortals from seeing magical things. And just 30 seconds later, another fairly big mistake is made. For some reason, Zeus is just chilling on top of the Empire State Building and Poseidon comes to say what's up. Olympus is above the Empire State Building, so why would Zeus just be sitting on top of it? I have no idea why.
It's been many years.
And it's been many years? Why? In the books, they have a council at every solstice, so that's at least twice a year that they should be seeing each other. Why would there be any reason for there to be years since they last met? There's not even a reason for this line. Literally, the first line in the movie makes no sense. For some reason, Zeus unnecessarily blasts this door open and goes inside. Why is he going inside of the Empire State Building? Olympus is definitely not in there. I actually really like this scene. I remember seeing it in theaters the first time I watched this movie, and I was always able to remember this scene. I really think they should have started with this instead of the whole Zeus-Poseidon argument. I also quite like what they do with Grover in this movie. He's extremely different from how he is in the books, but the movie doesn't have to be an exact replica of the books to be good. I'm sure if they did stick with the original character of Grover, the movie would be much more boring because they do a terrible job of fleshing his character out. I think he makes the movie way more fun and lighthearted, which is good. You can't ignore the obvious aging up of the characters. It's said that they're in high school, but in the books they were just starting out middle school. I do think that the aging up is a mistake. They should have stuck with the younger characters if they wanted to have a successful franchise. Logan Lerman, who's the actor for Percy, was already 18 at the time of filming this movie. That makes him way too old to pursue any hope of a long-running franchise, which is why the second movie is so butchered. But we'll get to that in another video. This is a pretty cool visualization for his dyslexia.
I think this, dyslexia thing is getting worse.
Oh, why do you think that?
I don't know. Maybe it's the ADHD.
The first real conversation we see with Percy, he's really annoying and whiny, which is a weird thing to do for the first impression of the protagonist. It makes him immediately unlikable.
Woman! Where's my beer? So what, it's supposed to magically float from the icebox and into my hand?
Gabe is actually great in this movie. He's exactly how I imagine him in the books. Crude, loud, and general piece of shit. I really like his acting in this.
Be prepared. Everything is about to change, Percy.
Why is Poseidon just standing in the middle of New York until he disappears behind a bus? Like, why?
On several occasions, they would come down to Earth and, how shall I put this?
Hook up?
Classic one from Grover.
We need to talk.
Release him or I swear I'll tear you to pieces!
It's really weird how Miss Dodds is just like, oh, okay, sure thing, and releases Percy. I mean, I'm pretty sure she was sent there to get the bolt back from Percy, not just run away at the first sign of trouble. And now he gives him the pen instead of throwing it to him while he was being violated by the Fury like in the book.
This is a pen. This is a pen.
Yes, that is a pen, I can confirm.
So he did abandon us.
No, honey, he was forced to. He loved you. Leaving you, it was probably the most difficult thing he ever did.
Yeah, definitely the most difficult thing he ever did. Not like he's had battles with literal monsters and killed his own father, but yeah, leaving Percy was definitely the hardest thing.
Why did he have to go?
Because he's...
Sally, watch out! Is it me or is it raining cows?
Another classic from Grover. Why would he grab the horn when he obviously had more time just to get the sword? And it probably would have been much easier to kill the Minotaur with it. Annabeth is all wrong from the beginning. She's immediately seen as a love interest for Percy, which is not something that was in the books. It takes multiple books before feelings actually begin to develop between them. But before they've even met, she's established as a love interest in this movie. Also, her hair is brown in this movie, but it's blonde in the next one. It's not the biggest deal for it to be brown, although it is against the character description in the book, but couldn't they have just at least stuck to one color instead of switching?
Wait a minute. Is that Mr. Bruner?
Totally normal running position from Chiron.
The mother's the goddess of love, so you know where that leads.
I don't know if you guys got that joke, but I'm pretty sure he's referring to SEX.
Welcome home. Your father built this. For you.
So everyone just somehow knows he's the son of Poseidon. He hasn't even shown any reason to suspect he's the son of Poseidon other than being able to hold his breath longer than the average person. This is just way off.
This is Percy Jackson!
Why is everyone just shaking their head here? Like, nah, Percy Jackson? No way. That's not him.
I'm Luke, son of Hermes and camp leader.
Camp leader? Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Maybe team leader? But camp leader implies that he runs the whole camp, which he definitely does not.
Keep your eyes open. Don't get killed.
Percy getting the plume cut off of his helmet is a nice callback to the book.
Whoa, that's a sword, that's a sword.
Yes, that is a sword. Luke and Percy both have excellent observation skills, I must say.
I won.
Did you really think it would be that easy?
I don't know why they make Annabeth fight Percy. They're actually on the same team in the book. I really don't see the point of them making such an unnecessary change. This water healing scene actually looks pretty cool and is accurate to the books. Pretty sure he just hit that guy's leg with the sharp side of the sword. He totally just chopped that shit off. And now they just let him take the flag? Makes sense. All he had to do was win the game to just pick it up. He was literally touching it earlier. Could he not just have picked it up then?
I definitely have strong feelings for you. I just haven't decided if they're positive or negative yet.
Now after Percy just basically humiliated her in front of everyone and beat her in a fight, now she likes him. Okay, cool. Hades looks pretty sick in this scene, I can't lie. This is really inaccurate to the books, but not necessarily a terrible change. It works, I guess.
Stick to our plan. Travel to Olympus. Bargain with Zeus.
He goes from agreeing with Chiron about not going to Hades to the very next scene completely changing his mind and going to the underworld by himself. Okay, I guess.
I don't need your help, okay? This is something I have to do on my own.
Yeah, well, we weren't asking for your permission.
Instead of sneaking out, they're given a quest in the books, which sets up the rest of the series as well. But they just ignore prophecies and quests altogether in this movie.
Who knows how to get to the underworld?
Did not think of that one.
What was he planning to do? Just walk aimlessly until he ends up at the gates of hell?
Your dad is the messenger of the gods. One of the only ones who's gotten in and out of the underworld. Do you have any idea how?
I've never met him, but I once broke into my dad's house. Got some cool stuff.
In the book, these shoes are a massive part of Luke's plan to kill Percy, but they just completely ignore that in this movie. I guess Medusa just casually drives around a Prius and truck in her spare time.
Hey, guys. Check this out.
Nice.
Gold drachmas.
Check what out? There's no possible way she could see that there were golden drachmas in that fountain from that far away.
She's coming! What?
Hey, maybe she drives around the Prius.
He's just like my Uncle Ferdinand. It's not my Uncle Ferdinand, because my Uncle Ferdinand was killed by Medusa.
That took him a stupid amount of time to figure out.
Daddy, daddy, daddy.
Need a hand? Let's go.
Why did the snake sound effect play as Grover ran up? And why did he have to break the statue's arm off for her to wiggle her hand out? Damn, so they tried to kill Medusa with her own truck. I wonder how they got the keys. It probably had to be Medusa's truck, because if it was the woman's or her husband's, then the keys would have been turned to stone as well, seeing as how the woman's wedding ring was turned to stone. Why is she looking so intensely at the phone? Has she never seen a phone before?
You're gonna kill the janitors.
Chill.
Those are working class Americans.
They're not dead, they're unconscious. Now we have 30 minutes. Come on.
So, just because they're not dead doesn't make it okay. She just knocked this guy off a ladder. Could he not just take the pearl out? He literally pulls out in the next scene. Why did he rip the whole thing off? This whole Heidegger scene was just added to the film randomly. This isn't in the book at all, and why did they make the janitors part of this? So many random additions to this movie that just make no sense. The effects in this movie are actually pretty good. Too bad they couldn't write the story better. They did everything against the author's wishes, and then when he offered to rewrite the entire script for them, they refused. I actually love this scene in the movie. It's really fun and Grover carries hard. I think most people probably hate this, but I don't really see what makes it so bad. The whole Lotus Casino scene is pretty good. It stays pretty true to the book and is one of the more fun scenes in the movie. The only thing I don't like about it is how the pearl just randomly in this roulette game and the fight scene at the end with them stealing the car. Weird how the entrance to the underworld is just chilling behind the Hollywood sign and randomly opens up whenever someone walks by. Weird how the fairy guy just took them directly to Hades' palace. In the book they had to travel around the underworld for a bit, and Grover almost got sucked into Tartarus by Luke's shoes. It was a really cool plot point that they just left out of the movie once again.
I haven't had a Seder.
You're Hades?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't expect you to look like this, man.
Hades and Persephone suck in this movie. Persephone has this weird fixation on Grover, and Hades is just a bit of a clown. He's terrifying in the books, but he's not threatening in this at all. The last 30-ish minutes of the movie are just a train wreck. Nothing is true to the book at all. So many random weird things are added and so many things are taken away. The driving plot point for the entire series is nowhere to be found. Ares has no part in the movie, but in the books he's the climax fight, not Luke. It doesn't even mention Kronos, who's the whole reason Luke is evil. So Luke basically just has no real motive to be doing any of this. What? Did he just kill Luke? He literally stabbed him in the neck and sent him flying into the ocean. They were already on the top floor when they went into the elevator, but it shows them going up from below that. Why does nothing in this movie make sense? Nothing really interesting happens in the end. All in all, it's a pretty horrible movie. Grover keeps it funny and lighthearted. Percy's pretty unlikable, and Annabeth just seems off the whole movie. It has some semi-decent action scenes with pretty good effects, and Grover makes it not a total bore. I give it a 3 out of 10. It's a disgrace to the books and not a very fun watch. See ya.